Good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. Thanks for joining us this morning for a very special edition of Will and Keaton on Friday morning. Dr. Shawn Randles joining us from the Logan Ridgeville School District this morning. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.
We'll get to you in just a second, but we'll start the way we always do with our verse of the day. We're in Habakkuk, of all places.
Jesus is more important than you, so you got to hang out a second.
You just got to wait. Habakkuk 3:17, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor the fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, and the gas pumps are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord, for I will take joy in the God of my salvation.
What kind of translation do you
Yeah,
have?
that was
a new one?
That was the Will Worsham modern translation there. No, but as I was reading that this morning, earlier this morning, that's what I thought of when I read this is, you're dealing with a time here where he's talking about, hey, there's this bad economic times. You're talking about Bible times. If the fig tree is not blossoming, if there's no fruit on the vines, if the olives are failing, if there's no food in the fields, that's a bad deal. That's bad economic times. And I don't know that we're in bad economic times right now, but there's certainly people hoarding gasoline, right? Or there were because of whatever reason. A pipeline, I'm certain, is part of it. But I just think that's a good reminder for all of us, whatever the times are yielding us, rejoice in the Lord, take joy in the salvation, because there's a future home and a future salvation out there that await us. So there's our verse.
Better days ahead.
Better days ahead, guaranteed. Revelation 21. We know what's coming.
There was a funny meme of these two people loading gas canisters up into the back of their car, just piling them high.
Well, okay, so
it said the toilet paper hoarders have turned to gasoline.
Well, I'm a little nervous because I need to mow my yard today, right?
Not gonna happen.
It's not?
I don't know.
Okay,
Probably
no,
is.
it is. It's gonna. But I need to buy gas for my mower, so I've got a couple of gas cans in the back of my truck,
You're
and I'm
a crazy guy.
Someone's going to take a picture of you hoarding.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of. Somebody's gonna like, look, he's out there.
Will Worsham spotted hoarding gasoline.
Hoarding gasoline. It's just 2 5-gallon cans. That's it.
It's too much.
But my mower has a 10-gallon tank.
Just like you should only have 10 bullets on hand at all times.
Yeah. Anyway. What?
Did you get a tattoo?
I've always had a tattoo.
You've always had a tattoo?
Uh-huh.
What's the sticker over it?
Well, I got it worked on.
Oh, you got it worked on.
Yeah, so this part needed a little touch up.
What is that?
It's a Chi-Rho.
What's a Chi-Rho?
It is a combination of 2 Greek letters, a chi and a rho, and it's so that in Greek that's CHR, and it was what the Romans adopted as their symbol when they became Christians. So, like on Constantine, he had it on. That's the symbol he had on his shield after he became a Christian.
Gotcha.
And then I have the 5 solas. I add that added.
What's the 5 solas?
So, sola gratia, sola fide, solus Christus, sola scriptura, soli Deo gloria. So it means
He put them on there upside down so he can't read.
I did. But that way I can show them to you easier. See, so it's by grace alone. Through faith alone, in Christ alone, according to Scriptures alone, to the glory of God alone. So that's what that says. So that's it. So. And they put that on there. It stays on there for 3 days, so it heals up and doesn't get all
your COVID vaccine through a tattoo.
It doesn't get all janky that way. Yeah. like when I did it the first time. That's why I had that fixed up a little bit because it looked. I thought, it looks cool. It kind of looks like it's written on old paper, because some of the ink didn't take right because I didn't know how to take care of my first tattoo. And then somebody said, "Oh, that's really cool. It's like leopard print." I'm like, "Okay, I got to get this fixed because I'm not getting a leopard print tattoo." So we're going to talk about your tattoos today, Dr. Randles. You want to tell us about all your tattoos?
Don't have any tattoos.
Don't have any tattoos. Well, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, we just wanted to provide a COVID update, kind of an end of the school year. I know everyone's a little anxious we all have spring fever, ready to be done.
Absolutely.
And so we had a meeting with the Springfield-Greene County Health Department actually Wednesday, and they are putting together a draft for the for Springfield City Council and to a public release that's going to come out next week. And so they were having a Zoom call with superintendents that surround Springfield and, of course, Springfield to just garner our feedback of what we wanted to do for summer school and how they could support our efforts, and then what they feel should be some of the mitigation strategies that we either hang on to or let go and things like that. So we just wanted to kind of give an update of where we are and maybe, I don't know, dispel some rumors or just talk about how we got here and why we're still here and where we're headed, more importantly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my understanding is next year the students will have a full headgear diving bell style mask. That's what I've heard.
Underwater diving.
Like the underwater thing to prevent all that. That's
now the mask is a tool that allowed us to navigate the quarantine guidelines, and ultimately we started this time last year. You know, how are we going to, like, this time last year, remember, we were in a complete statewide shutdown, governor stay-at-home order.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
I mean, and there were like 100 cases in the state of Missouri. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't know anything about it. So everyone was reacting out of fear. And we decided to hold summer school. And it was, to me, it wasn't a difficult situation, but everyone was really nervous. And I said, but this may be the only time we see our kids in person for the next 6 months, year.
Yeah, who knows?
And so that was kind of eye-opening when I made that comment. It's like, we haven't seen our kids in months, and this may be our only chance to see them. They may shut us down in August.
Yeah.
We may be virtual in August. So we had summer school and avoided any type of COVID-related issues in summer school, and we didn't wear masks in summer school last summer. Mm-hmm. We just went to school.
Right.
And we had a record number because kids had missed a whole quarter of school. And so then
parents were ready to get them out of the house.
Yes, out of the house.
Exactly.
Stop eating crayons. Go eat them at school.
And so we, when we developed the return to learn plan, you know, we were playing within the rules that the health departments.
I don't trust you with that.
The health department said, and it was about the quarantine. And our goal was keep kids in school. And so if we keep kids in school, and one thing we learned last spring, that public education is kind of like one of those basic components of our society. I mean, if kids aren't in school, parents can't go to work. Mm-hmm. And if parents can't go to work, the economy can collapse. And so parents need to go to work. The economy needs to keep moving. Kids need food because there are kids that go without if they're not at school. The social, emotional needs that kids have and need and learn at school. And then, you know, one thing that we hadn't talked a lot about, but child abuse notices have gone down. And that's because
when the kids are back in school, child abuse, it goes down.
Well, no, the reports to the Department of Senior or DYS Children's Division went down during the pandemic because just think about it. We're all mandated reporters.
Right. Okay. I see.
So if we see something going on in little Johnny at school,
right,
then we are mandated reporters.
When realistically, probably more child abuse was occurring
because they were all locked up.
Well,
at
they
home.
were all locked at home,
but we weren't.
But there was nobody to report
exactly.
it. I see what you're saying.
So it's important for us to stay in school, and our goal was to stay in school. And so whatever means that or whatever tool that we could have at our disposal to stay in school, we were going to do it. And masks was the main tool, because if we were wearing masks, if the three of us are wearing masks and we're in 4th grade, and Keaton is COVID positive, you and I are identified as a close contact, but we all three had our mask on. Keaton goes home. You and I get to stay in school. And so, but if we were not wearing masks, all of us had to go home. And so that 5th grade classroom, now 27 parents are trying to find, what am I going to do with my kid for the next 2 weeks?
Right.
And so we wore masks so parents could go to work, kids could stay in school, the economy could keep going. And it may not have been a popular decision. It kind of saddens my heart that masks and vaccines have become so polarizing and political, like politics and, you know, even religion to that point. People just get so divisive and passionate about it that to us, it's not. We're just right here in the middle. It's just a tool.
Well, yeah, you're just using the tool to do what you want. I just think if people, our political servants had chosen to ask people to do something rather than command them to do something, they would have had a lot better time with that. But that wasn't your role. No. That wasn't your position.
Well, and when we surveyed our parents in July, you know, about back to school return plans and stuff, guess the percentage that wanted masks and guess the percentage that didn't.
I'd say about
80-20.
60-40.
49-51.
Oh, wow. Yeah, how do you split that cake, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was actually 49.5 and 50.5, right down the middle. So that we knew we were in for, just, hey, no one's going to agree.
Yeah, nobody's going to be happy. Yeah.
So we made it through the fall, and we had some scares, but, we stayed in school. And for the most part, our kids in their activities, there were a couple times when, volleyball team was out for a week or two and basketball out for a week or two, or some individuals. But for the most part, we had a school year. Yeah. And that's what was the most important for us to get through the school year, for all those reasons I just stated. But recently, the county lifted the mask for outside, which we haven't really been enforcing or doing a great job of that outside. So we changed that plan. We changed that plan a week ago, and we didn't make it public because, why tell people they don't have to wear a mask at a soccer game when they're already not wearing a mask at a soccer game?
Me listening to the government tell me I can do something I never stopped doing anyway.
Thank you so much.
So moving forward, we just want to finish strong. And I know there's some schools like Reed Spring did away with their mask and then brought it back 4 days later when they had over 100 kids quarantined.
Ooh, yeah.
And we just felt like MAP testing's coming up, end of course exams, and these kids missed all their activities last spring. We don't want to do that to them again. So if the mask allows them to stay in school and still participate.
You only have a couple more weeks.
We got 9.5 days.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah. And so,
who's counting?
Yeah,
my wife. My wife is counting.
So we just wanted to stay the course. But in summer school, we're going to have summer school again, and we're not going to mask in summer school. We're going to test those mitigation strategies. We're not going to push in art. We're going to go to art. We did breakfast in the classroom. We've done that through third grade for years, and it's just community. Sitting around a table eating, because sometimes, if you think about it, how often we're busy people, how often do you actually get to sit your entire family around the dinner table and eat? It's not as often as you want, I'm sure.
Not at all.
And so with that sense of community, breakfast in the classroom is very beneficial to the kids. At the elementary, due to the construction, we didn't have a cafeteria this year. So they were going to do lunch in the classroom regardless. And so it just worked out. They already had their pandemic protocols in place. And so so we haven't eaten in the cafeteria as much. There's been some rotation and stuff. But we're going to go back to eating in the cafeteria. And cohorting, though, is still the thing in summer school. You go to a class, and then you stay with that class when you go to art. You stay with that class when you go to lunch. And so that's not changing. We're just going to free up that we're not masking. And our cleaning measures, we could always do a better job in cleaning. I think there are a few germs running around school with all those.
You think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a new thing.
Yeah. So
Lauren Brooks happy about what you're talking about today. So she says great. Yeah.
Well, I think we could always do a better job cleaning. So we're probably going to keep some of our cleaning measures, but maybe not just quite as intense as we have. And just I don't think there is a new normal. Like if we're always learning and growing and progressing and learning from our experiences, you wake up and there's a new normal every day.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I don't think we need to go back to normal, because that's maybe regression. We just need to find what our new normal looks like, and it's going to be better because we've learned from this experience. We're more flexible, more resilient.
So what I hear you saying probably, and correct, fill out the details here, but based on how well summer school goes with the things you've got in place, no masks and cleaning, that's probably going to dictate how you start the fall.
Yeah, the goal is we won't wear masks in August.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I know are glad to hear that. Your 50-41 49 has probably shifted a little bit over time.
I think, the health leaders, they say as vaccines go up and more people have contracted it, and so they have an immunity. It's just natural that we're going to have fewer and fewer cases. And when we were trying to flatten the curve last year, that was the elderly. The elderly were the majority of the people that were getting sick or immunocompromised people. And so now that they've been vaccinated and made it through that initial round of COVID, then now it's more our age or Keaton's age that, they're not as likely to be severely ill
right.
with it. So we see lower cases and the hospitalization is down. But in LR school, if you haven't been to our dashboard in a while, we've kept a dashboard every week of number of cases. And we've only had like maybe 3 weeks this entire year where we haven't had a COVID case. So, I mean, people think, well, I hear we don't even have COVID cases. No, look at our dashboard. We've had COVID cases every week, but just a handful of weeks.
I remember Jack had it last fall. I think he had a headache for about 15 minutes. But he tested positive.
It was just allergies.
Well, that's what we thought. But like, well, getting him tested. No, sure enough. He came back with a positive test. But, well, that's good. I think everybody was really anxious to hear what was going to happen summer school and, of course, what's happening next fall. So thanks for giving us that update.
The public transportation is one of the big ones, though.
Sure.
Busing, we're still going to. We didn't have busing last year. And we're going to bring back busing. I don't know how many people will ride the bus, but we're going to provide transportation stops and go to like, concentration points, apartment complexes and things like that where we can pick up a group of people. So we're going to, since all those kids are mingled on the bus, K through 6th grade or even high school kids, that we're going to ask people to wear their mask on the bus. But then once they get off the bus and head into school, they're going to be in mask in their cohort.
$10 gasoline this fall is probably going to have an impact on that.
It might.
Is that as well?
It might. Yeah. Well, it's just anything we can do to remove a barrier to get kids in school. We don't want them to have an excuse not to come to summer school if they want to come.
Well, I can think of 2 other big announcements related to the school district. One, we've got a new assistant superintendent, which is pretty exciting.
You got a new buddy.
We do. Jason O'Neill, as many of you know, Mr. O'Neill, he's still going to be in the community. His wife still teaches here, kids still in school. But he has served on the Fellowship of Christian Athletes state board. It's located here in Springfield. He served on that for several years, and they were looking for a new state director. And so as he's literally interviewing people for this position, he felt the calling and went home and told his wife, I think I need to apply for this job. This is a great retirement gig. And I told him this too. Well, if it's a great retirement gig, it's a great gig now. But he's thinking long-term in education, how do I get to retirement? And so anyway, he asked the board if he could step away and apply, and they said sure. He did. He ended up getting the job. He's going to take an early retirement from education, which will be a reduced retirement, but he's getting this great
he and his family,
job.
First of all, fantastic people to have in our community.
Yes.
We're really blessed to have them here. But making a real personal sacrifice to serve in that way. So kudos for him.
When we hired him 7 years ago, I told the Board of Education, I said, we just hired the quality of individual we want in our next superintendent. Yeah. I said, he'll be the next superintendent.
And as disappointing as we don't get him, we had somebody right there to step in. It's just as good.
Well, we're so fortunate at LR. We have great people.
Yeah.
And so
we make them ourselves. That's what helps.
They're homegrown.
They're homegrown.
Yeah, homemade.
We produce our own quality here.
Yeah, homemade.
Organic, vegan, vegetarian,
not vegan.
Gluten-free.
So yeah, we posted the job, and we're always going to try to hire the best, and we'll pit our best against other people out in the community. And I'm not originally from here, but I consider this home, and so I was fortunate. No,
wasn't it Buffalo?
Huh?
Wasn't it Buffalo?
You worked at Buffalo. You worked at Buffalo.
Buffalo's a great place to have been from. No.
Oh yeah.
I love my Buffalo people. They're so great. It was such a wonderful experience there. Still have great friends that are there that I talk to all the time. But no, we pit our great people internal against great people external because we want to hire the best. We want to hire the best for our kids, and if that's someone external that can bring in new perspective or experiences they've had in other positions, then we want the best here at LR. And so we're always going to strive to hire the best. And this time we had the best was within. Mm-hmm. And so, and we're excited for Dr. Jennifer Katzen. Elementary had a few tears. Mm-hmm. We're going to go meet with them today. We have a survey going out to the staff today for look-fors in their next principal. We had like 8 applications in the first 36 hours. So
I might apply to that job too.
We're pretty popular.
You're not getting an interview. No.
We have a bus driving job for you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know that I would go for that either. Maybe track coach.
There we go.
Yeah, we need bus drivers all the time.
Yeah, you do.
But no, we're excited. I mean, she's already starting. She'll get her feet wet in the assistant superintendent and job shadow with Mr. O'Neill as much as she can. She's going to finish strong though at the elementary, and we're going to have someone hired probably in the next 2 weeks and welcome that person into the Wildcat family. And yeah, no, we're really excited.
And speaking of the elementary, the construction is now done. Yeah,
it's done. There's a punch list of a few little minor details. Okay. Everything's back ordered. Furniture is back ordered. We were going to have an open house in June. Well, furniture was back ordered, and so we were going to have an open house in July. Well, one of the main containers that had all of our soft furniture, probably from China, I'm not sure.
It was in the Suez Canal behind the Evergreen.
They got backed up there. But now, so we just put up the open house. It's going to be August 10th. Okay. I believe, and that is a hard date. We're doing it whether we have furniture or not, because school starts in 2 weeks after that. So, no, we're excited about it. We'll have a ribbon cutting, and we'll have a tour for the community over there because that's a community safe room. Mm-hmm. So that'll open when there's storms in the area, like the one here at the upper elementary. And so we're excited about that, and we'll give tours at like 2, 4, and 6. There's a Wildcat Chronicle is coming out here in the next week or so. It's at print right now, and so that'll go to over 6,000 mailboxes in our community. Every mailbox, it's bulk mailing, and so we have a little bit about the open house in that chronicle.
Well, sounds good.
We should do a vlog of the new building.
A blog?
A vlog.
A vlog? Yeah, we could do that. We could come over there and
run through.
Do a little.
We could
do a little show.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Anything else you want to? We covered it all pretty good.
Wow, no, thanks for everyone's patience and understanding as this year has, in my 29 years, this might have been the hardest year of my career, but I hope we did well by everyone and have their best interest at heart.
Well, as you know, our door is always open to you to come in anytime you want to talk to the 3 or 4 people that watch our show. And now we had like 13, 14 people watch it today, so nice. And there'll be a lot of people watch it after that. Good job, Keaton. You almost had it. There it is. So that is one of our K-ROG contributors that failed to switch to their own account. So they posted as K-ROG, but they appreciate leadership. And that's true. We certainly do that. But hey, everybody, thanks for watching us again this week. We'll be back. Stuff going on this weekend. We'll be back Monday with Dollars and Cents. Be sure to get out to the Unique Flower Farmer and get your plants. Shop local here in Rogersville.
Hey, Friday, let's do a remote. I'll be on my way to Texas to do my race.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about it. I may get a guest host.
That's a bunch of crap.
Tune in next week to find out if we replace Keaton.
Look at that picture.